Okay, so it is Tuesday morning. I am sitting in the Goodwill parking lot making this intro. I am still just as excited to go thrifting as I was day one. I don't know what it is about thrifting that is just such a pull from many of us. We love the thrill of the hunt. So today we're going into the first Goodwill. This is the big Goodwill in Lancaster. I hit here probably a couple times a week, and I have not been thrifting since I've been home from Anna Maria Island. We did some thrifting there, Roger and I, and we brought stuff home stuffed in our suitcases. So most of my inventory in the house is listed. I think I have probably about 10 pieces just to finish up today, but I figured I'd come out and go thrifting for the day. It is a gorgeous, balmy 30 degrees here. After Anna Maria Island, it's a little bit of a shock. So I've got the down coat on, and yeah, I'm just excited to go thrifting. I'm going to bring you along with me. Hit that like and subscribe button. All right, let's get inside. Starting down the gold brown aisle, I spot this platter, which I thought was quite pretty, but when I held it up, I felt like the quality wasn't there. So as many of you know, the larger glass platters that are in great shape and beautiful, I do still pick up. Here I'm looking at 3 little coasters. I found these quite odd that they were so tiny, but then I quickly fell in love with these hand-carved wood figurines. I thought this will be Roger and me when we were in our 90s. I did put them in my cart for a while to give him a good laugh, and for some reason I almost picked them up, but I do wind up putting them back. But look at the faces. It's amazing how much expression you can find on hand-carved pieces. So I'm just using my coat as a cushion for all of the things I purchased today, and there are Roger and I in the cart. Let's keep going. Here I find a clock that I found very interesting. At first I didn't see any marks, but on the back it is marked Shanghai, China. I'm not quite sure when they used Shanghai, China, what year of importing. So although I wasn't too sure about it, I felt this was really good. It felt very good in the hand. It felt like quality. So I thought I would put that in the cart and look it up. I realized right off the bat that these mirrors were very inexpensive, but I kind of liked the way that they looked. I do leave them behind. Now the store again is quite crowded, and even though it was crowded, I was very surprised to see Fiesta wear on the shelf. I don't know a lot about Fiesta wear. I have picked it up. It has been slow moving for me, so obviously I don't know the right ones to pick up. I believe it's the older ones and the ones that are in the bright colors. That is a guess, total guess on my part. And I did look at the casserole for a while. I wasn't crazy about these colors, and I thought maybe this was the newer stuff. But all in all, this is very heavy to ship. So unless I am positive of what I am picking up, I decide to leave it behind. Right after me, another shopper quickly put it all in her cart, and I thought, great, she's going to buy it. Nope, it got put back on the shelf 3 or 4 times with people in the store. So although we all recognize, you know, Fiesta can bring good money, I think you really have to do your homework and know which ones are bringing money and which ones are not. Moving on to the white aisle, I spot these little ceramic drawers. And at first I thought, gee, did these come out of a little wooden chest? Because that would be super cute to keep in the kitchen. But I don't know if they were just meant as a little vase or a little, a little catch-all. So I quickly move on to this family fry cooker. Do you guys remember the Fry Daddy and the Fry Baby? I think I used to have one of those in the 80s. I felt like this was not tempting enough to run a comp on. And I do pick up this little pottery dish. Now again, 99 cents, great price. I didn't care for the graphic on it, so I leave that behind for somebody else. And I just want to thank everybody for coming up to me and saying hi in the store. I think I met about 10 of you today, so thank you so much. And this is a label we always love to find. Made in Murano, Italy. How pretty is this? Like a starfish, or very beachy. almost like an octopus and a starfish mixed. I thought this piece was really pretty, and right in the cart it went. I did check it for chips like 4 times because lately I have been picking up things that I don't know, that I'm missing the flaws. I think I'm just trying to do too much. So I'm trying to slow down and be really careful with what I'm bringing into the house, that, you know, the items don't have too many flaws. I really loved this Asian bowl. I imagine this is a rice bowl. And I kept on looking at the graphic. I think in my mind I was trying to warrant picking it up for myself, but I really try not to pick up a lot. When you're in this business at this level, you can wind up with a hoarder house. You really can. There's so many pretty things out there. I looked at this dish because it looked very 80s to me. And this was FTD. So that is a floral delivery service, and that caught my attention. So here I'm just standing back trying to get a scope of what's on the shelf, and my eye rests on this little figurine. Well, first, of course, I have to check the price on the vase. I thought there was a lot of work put into this. So this is Seymour Mann. I don't know that these bring any kind of money. She looks kind of shocked. I think she's playing dress up as a little bride. Next, I came around the corner and fell in love with this picture. I was so upset it had a chip. Just beautiful. Look at the hand-painted design. I loved the bird standing on top of the little birdhouse. I loved the colors. I loved the shape. I loved everything about it. And could I have bought it with a chip? You know, guys, I went back and forth for quite a while on this piece. I'm not saying it's a high-end piece. There I am examining the chip, thinking in my mind, is that really too bad? But like I said, I'm really trying to not bring home anything with damage unless it is something super rare. I quickly realized these plates or bowls I'm not going to be picking up, but I do take a look at a lot of what's on the shelf. This bell was very interesting. So I'm thinking it's a cookie jar. I can't imagine what else it would be. It's vintage. I think the numbers on the bottom might be the mold number. This is probably a home project. Somebody painted this, and these are all guesses. So I really have no idea. A bell cookie jar that somebody painted. But I thought this was really well done. So I'm thinking, was it sold in like a Macy's or something like that? I do notice a little chip, and that throws me over the edge. I decide not to pick it up. But right next to it are these fun Nutcrackers. And I know there is a story about a mouse who became a king, maybe a mouse king, something. If somebody knows that story, would you leave a comment down below? So David looks like David gave it to his mom and dad as a present one year. Somehow it's been donated. I really liked the look of them. Very fun. Artwork is probably one of my slowest sellers. So I have really been strict with myself not picking up any more prints, because the ones that I leave in the frames, the shipping is just too high. And yes, I could make a special trip to FedEx or to UPS, but unless the profit capability is super high, it doesn't warrant the time for me. But I thought these were especially beautiful. It was a set of 4. Here I'm just checking that the bloom is just dirt on the glass or dust, and it is. These looked very special to me, and I really liked them. So I do give these a lot of thought. $2.99 a piece, and you can see it has a wood backing, which if it was cardboard, I'd probably leave them behind fairly quickly. Here's another one. Same style, so it looks like these all came out of one household. And this is what I do as long as there's no one coming down the aisle. I do lay them out on the floor. You can tell I'm way too comfortable in Goodwill. So I can get a view of it all together. Don't those look pretty? So of course I do put them in my cart to give it a second thought. And we have rounded the corner to the blue aisle. I see this beautiful glass hobnail candy dish. Everything's called a trinket box or a candy dish. I'm sure there were a lot of other uses other than those two things. I really like this. I don't know that this is going to bring any kind of money, but I do put that in my cart. I think I have a small soft spot in my heart for things that are aqua because Mellissa, my daughter, Freshbloominclothing, she loves aqua. So it does make me look at aqua items, I think a little bit more than I should. Two little pieces of stained glass, not really true stained glass. There were sun catchers. Okay, and then my eye is drawn to this piece of art sculpture, student pottery, not quite sure, vase. It almost looked like Legos. I wasn't sure what was going on there. And then I spotted these molds. I think these are for aspic maybe, or jelly molds. True vintage. And although they were taped together, I did want to pull them apart to see. First, I thought they were connected to each other. I'm not quite sure why my mind thought that. But I was able to separate them a little bit, I realized, without pulling the tape off, which is great. And I wind up not taking these. I don't know that a lot of people have that French country-style kitchen that they're going to want something like that pretty much just for decor, because I don't think anybody's making, jellied aspics anymore. I turn the corner, and you guys know me. I'm all about very bright printed clothing. I do love this. I've never heard of that name before. I kind of like Boohoo Man, if that's what that says. And then I start to look for signs of quality or not quality. So I do look at the seams, I look at the buttons, how the buttons are sewn on. The buttonholes tell a very big story in quality clothing. See how these buttonholes aren't even properly cut open? That tells me this is a really inexpensive garment, and I leave it behind. And here I asked my girlfriend Debbie if I could video her carts. Look at the good stuff these girls found. This is fantastic. So I think that might be Madeline. Is that how we say that? Pottery Barn. And they had gotten here probably a good hour before I did, maybe half an hour, filling their carts. I love hanging out with these girls. So Jen was not there today. Hello, Jen, if you're watching, we missed you. I think I met Debbie 2 visits ago, and she is a reseller. Here I am looking in her cart. She found Simon, and she was teaching me that if you find the Simon with the metal bottom, those can bring very good money, so probably even older than the one that's in the cart today. Here I'm taking a quick look through the belts, and I noticed this belt buckle of an eagle. And on the back, it shows that it's made in Italy. But as you can see, the belt is in very poor condition. So instead of leaving something like this behind, I just purchase this and take the belt buckle off the belt and throw the belt out. Because I wouldn't redonate a belt that looks like that for somebody else too. I don't think somebody's going to want that. But for $1.99, sometimes it's worth buying something with damage and parting it out, taking the good part off. Here I'm just checking it again. Going through the rack one last time. As I've said before, I sell a ton of belts. You guys know me, I will sell anything. It's almost embarrassing how scrappy my carts are sometimes. I mean, not embarrassing because, like I said, I'm making a lot of money doing this, but it's just so funny. So many people's carts are so curated, even their videos. When I have time, I watch other resellers, and it's just amazing how beautiful their videos are with gorgeous pieces of glass and china. And there I am just throwing everything into my cart. So, yep, that's me, just kind of like naturally wanting to buy everything. And now we are on the green aisle. I did like this butterfly box very much, but I didn't have need for it, and it's not something I would want to ship. We all know these little beanie babies. I don't know that any of them bring money anymore. There's a little salt shaker. That could have been a pepper grinder. I think that one was salt. Pitcher and bowl. I don't pick up any pitchers and bowls, even the big ones. I find they sit too long and a lot of people are just not decorating with them. This piece is string art. Not too well done, but when string art is very well done, I always pick it up. Coming down the blue aisle, I noticed this Fiesta pitcher. I think quite a bit of Fiesta ware got donated. The store was pretty filled with it, and I did like this colorway. So I do put it in my cart for a little while, and I run a comp on it, and it's probably going to bring like $20, $23 at best. Here's one of the pieces that I took off of the cart that I wasn't able to show. This is an advertising piece. They've turned into an ashtray. We still have the clock, and I think that's it. I think everything else I have showed you. And now we are on the black aisle, looking at a, as seen on TV, Salsa Master. Not quite sure, just a knife wouldn't do the same thing. This is a little Darth Vader pillow with 2 different prices on it. Anything Star Wars I look up, and it wound up that this did not bring more than a couple of dollars, so I do put it back, but anything from Star Wars almost always I run a comp on. Just having fun with one of the employees. I have to say the employees in this store are just excellent. This canister of dual tip marker pens caught my attention. I always check them out because different art media can be very expensive. I usually go by how the item is made, if it looks like quality, if it's vintage, sometimes made in other countries, pencils from Germany. This one made in China, and I felt like this wasn't even worth looking up, so I do leave that behind. Even though, like I said, I'm not picking up too many art prints, I do give those a quick glance. Can I just say how much fun Roger is in the thrift stores? This man sometimes is like an 11-year-old boy. So as you can see, this was farts in a can. 6 fart sounds. We were hysterical, and of course he was pressing it everywhere we went. He did it up at the register for the sales girls. We were all just cracking up. Sometimes when I'm in Goodwill, I feel like I'm back in grade school, but always a ton of fun. And now the employees are starting to roll out huge canvas bins of mixed media. I felt like I was in the outlet center digging. Unfortunately, the prices were not outlet prices. Our outlet, I believe, is still charging $1.69. I haven't been over there in a few weeks. But I thought, okay, I'd give you guys a sense of what it's like. You know, not everything is neatly placed on shelves like you see sometimes in different thrift stores. Sometimes it's just a big mishmash, and it kind of breaks up the day. I kind of enjoy this kind of digging. So here I'm just pulling back an electronic. I try to, this is called Riptunes. I try to be aware of which electronics have the best chance for a high profit capability, even though as a whole I don't do electronics too much anymore. Electronics is a hard thing because there are a lot of returns. There's no proving the thing worked or didn't work. And when I sell something, because I'm a no return seller, I really like to know that the buyer is going to receive it and it's going to stay with the buyer. I don't want to have to take a lot of returns. Electronics is something that I hear from people that sell a lot of electronics. They get a ton of returns. So there's no way to prove something works. So pretty much as a whole. I skip it, but I do try to educate myself on what electronics I shouldn't be passing by. And here another big cart gets pulled out, and it is Easter. Now, I feel like I'm still not over Christmas. Christmas was a really good sale month for me, and I'm noticing this, I'm going to call this cast aluminum, and this turns out to be an Arthur quart. So there is the signature there. Now, while I really didn't want that piece because I feel like that piece is a little more common, it would probably only bring $20. I'm going to insert other Arthur Court metal items here because they can bring very good money. I mean, extremely crazy good. So you do want to know the Arthur Court name, but you have to comp each item to see what is bringing, a decent amount of money and what's not. And here I'm pulling out probably the find of the day. I didn't even look at this, and just from the tag, this goes right in my cart. This is the brand Dandy. So this is an older plush. I would love to sell nothing but plush. Plush is such a delight to sell, especially if they're clean. This one could use a little touch up. And again, I'm going to insert comps here of what I expect to get for this plush stuffed animal. So here's a little shot of what my cart looks like. I did take a look at these Helly Hansen Puma sneakers, $30 for used sneakers. While they were in good condition, a new pair of these on eBay, probably $80. So here is where I really try to use my judgment. $30 is a very high buy-in price for me. Not that I don't have that capital, I do. But I always like to be careful that the more I put into something, the more I want to be sure that it's going to bring very good profit and that it's going to sell fairly quickly. So you can see the new price, $130. If these would have been $20, I might have considered it. In this part of the video, I'm just going to give you a little haul. As you can tell, it is late night. I did come home from the thrift store, got some video work done, and sorted the items that I picked up today. So these are just a few of them. The majority is in the back room getting ready to be processed for listing. So if you saw anything you liked in today's video, just know it's going to take me probably about 3 or 4 days to get them on because I am in the thick of shopping. I'm just shopping a lot this week. So let's get started. The first item that I'm really excited to find and excited to share with you is this large rabbit. Look how adorable this is. So when the Easter bin, that big yellow bin, got pulled out, I think it was yellow, I grabbed this guy right away. You can feel the quality. And sure enough, I want to show you his label, or her. The name is Dandy, D-A-N-D-E-E. Can you guys see that? This is a wonderful name in plush animals. Now, I'm not saying every plush animal will bring a high amount, but I knew right away that this rabbit was special. This is one of the 24-inch ones. So these are the items that I like to report back on my Instagram, Lavenderclothesline, because I really think this one is going to be very good profit. $2.99. I'm hoping for over $80 for this rabbit. I did pick up this huge mirror. This I will be selling on Facebook Marketplace. Let me just move Mr. Bunny over here. I found 2 pieces of the Murano glass, this dish, which I did catch in the video. And I also wound up picking this one up. So that's what that looks like. Piece of art glass, just beautiful. This one I paid $10 for. And what did I pay for this one? $2.99. So not quite sure what the difference was there, but okay. Here is the clock from Shanghai, China, or marked Shanghai, China. I did find this glass bell after I turned the camera off. I think this might be a Fenton. It is marked inside. I'm going to have to do a little more research. The glass hobnail vase I showed. This is a lot that was on that shelving unit that came out that I was unable to film because, people were just going to descend on it and I really wanted to get to it. So I did find these gorgeous antique pill boxes. So this is solid silver for this one and this one. And along with those came these lucite blocks with insects in them. Thought that was quite interesting, and they are drilled with a hole, so I guess maybe somebody would wear this as a necklace. Could that even be? This one looks like a bumblebee in it. This is the belt buckle that I took off of the belt. I have thrown the belt out, so I kept the buckle. A couple of cigarette cases, another pill box. I think this is Atian Angwa, probably saying that wrong. And a few more cases. This is the promotional giveaway or the promotional ashtray, vintage. I did pick up this amber glass pitcher that I thought was beautiful, unmarked, but I really liked this shape and the color, just beautiful. I did find a couple of yearbooks, all from one person, and I love it because there are a lot of inscriptions in it, wishing Susan a happy life. So I think I got 1983, 84, and was this one 85, 86? Yes. So 3 yearbooks. I do very well with older yearbooks. And the last thing was this tin of postcards with sport cars. All right, guys. Sorry for the late night haul, but I did want to give you a sense of what I picked up. I also picked up quite a bit of clothing, and there's some more hard goods in the back. Thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.